Dumelang bagaetsho, I'm Tebogo Tinti and Juanette Amos. Um, if we can just make it to Thursday, and lo and behold, we do make it to Thursday. I must say today I'm not feeling very Thursday. I'm not feeling very know your worth. I'm not feeling very upbeat because I'm a woman and I'm going through something that only women go through and only women understand. And I have to say this. I have to say that I want to be babied. I want to be asked, what would you like? In fact, I don't want to be asked. I just want to be brought stuff that I like. I don't want anyone to ask me. I want someone to just bring me. I don't want to have to ask for something. I want for somebody to just take it upon themselves to just see about me because I'm not feeling the way that I would love to feel. So I'm not feeling very know your worth. I'm not feeling very strong. But one thing that I do know for sure is that I'm always going to just simply show up for myself, even if I don't feel great, because all I do have to do is show up, and that's what I'm doing. And the reason being is that a lot of people constantly let me down. So I'm not going to be part of that team. I'm not going to be one of the people that constantly let me down. So I'm going to show up for myself simply because that is a promise that I made to me. And if there's one thing that I'm very intentional about is keeping promises that I make to myself. So I hope you've been having a better week. And I know there are a lot of people who are having a much worse of a time than I'm currently having. And I really wish God would just extend his hand and just cover them all with all of the blessings that he can shower them with, because at this time it is a lot of things are not about us. It does not mean we should neglect ourselves and we should neglect our needs, but a lot of things are just not about us. We need to surrender to God's will. And by surrendering, it means complete acceptance. I know a lot of us pray and say, may your will be done. But when the will happens, we don't accept it. We still want to question it. Or we want to tell God how the will should be. We like, God, I want you to do whatever it is that you want with me, but I want you to do it this way. We want to tell him how to proceed with his will. And I think maybe that is where we could possibly be going wrong just a little bit. If we can exercise acceptance to say, okay, this is what you want me to do. Okay, I'll do that. That this is where you want me to go. Okay, I'll go there. This is the person that you want me to talk to. Okay, I'll talk to them without resisting, without questioning, without doubting. Just complete surrender. And I remember many, many years ago, I read a quote, but I'll paraphrase because I don't think I remember it exactly. The person wrote, you don't know what God's will for you is until you are sent to help someone who has offended you in the deepest way. Something like that. And I saw it recently and I was like, yo, yeah, maybe these are the things that we learn as we grow. And that's also another thing that I've been very conscious talking to myself about, is that I have to be gentle with myself, especially when it comes to things that only time could have taught. Because I find myself sometimes being very hard on myself. Like, yeah, but look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. You could have done this different. You could have done that better. And then I take a beat and I say, but only time could have taught me this. That's why there are phrases such as, if I knew then what I know now, because only time could have taught could have taught me this. There is no way that at 19 I could have known half the things that I know now. So I have to let go of that. but I also have to show up for myself better now, because when you know better, you do better. So even on days that you really don't feel like adulting, you need to understand that the world is not going to stop because you don't feel like adulting. The world is going to continue. All you can do is show up in the best way that you can. And showing up does not necessarily mean overextending yourself and giving up parts of yourself that you cannot afford to lose. That is not what showing up is. Showing up is talking to yourself and say, "Hey, self, we can do this much." And then you do the much, and then you say to self, "Wait, self, we can stretch a little further." And then you stretch a little further. And then when you feel like you've done enough, you don't have anything else to give, you only have what you can maintain yourself with left, then that's what you do. It's like when somebody says, for example, I'm just making an example. When somebody says, "I need you to please lend me 500 Rand," and then you have 1,000 on you, and then you calculate and you think, but this is the 1,000 that I need for me and my needs to take me from A to B. If I take the 500 Rand and give it to you, then I am going to go without, because you are asking me for that. So therefore I cannot give you the 500 Rand. I don't have the 500 Rand to give to you. I only have this much for me. And that's what it means when we say you have to put yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you have 1,000 Rand and somebody's asking you for 500 Rand, and this is the 1,000 Rand that could have been in your savings for 6 months to come, then you do have to lend. You can lend them, you can borrow them. But if it's also what you need to make it to Thursday, then you cannot afford it. And those are the things that I'm talking about. Do not give up parts of yourself that you can't afford to lose. Do not overextend yourself, and then you end up falling short. Do not set yourself on fire trying to keep other people warm. So, what I have to say this Thursday, when I'm feeling like I'm feeling, is that when you make a promise to yourself, you keep it no matter what. Don't let anything stand in the way of you showing up for yourself. Okay? That's it. That's all I have.